Hey humans, it's Hannah. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, I do videos on creepy and disturbing things. And today we're going to be talking about the TikTok account, The Exits Are Missing. This is a TikTok account about a person who goes into his storage unit to get his Christmas decorations, but when he turns around, the exits have literally disappeared and he can't get out. He isn't sure where he is either. Just a quick disclaimer here, this account is confirmed to be an ARG, alternate reality game. So I'm gonna be discussing it as if it's real, just like I usually do for ARGs, but just know that nobody's actually in danger here. It's a game. So in his first video, he talks about how he came here about 4 hours ago to collect his Christmas decorations. But then he films around the storage unit and it looks like it's basically an endless labyrinth with no exits anywhere. So after the first video, all of his other videos have binary code in the captions, and the binary codes always translate to 1 or 2 words. In his second video, the binary code translates to help. And we see in this video that when he swings the camera back, one of the units are open. In the third video, his caption reads trapped. He goes into one of the open units, but when he gets in, he feels like something's just not right. And sure enough, when he turns around, the door is closed and the exit inside of that unit is gone as well. And he is trapped. A couple videos later, his caption says, I. Someone in the comments suggested that he tries to climb up the wall of the unit since there's a gap up top and maybe he can climb out of it. He says in the video that the top is blocked off so he can't get out this way, but what he doesn't mention is that there's a head that we see a few yards away in this video when he goes up to the top, and it quickly ducks down when the figure seems to see that he's looking in his direction. It's super creepy and he doesn't mention it at all. So the next video says blood in the caption, and sure enough, we see this really strange stain on the floor, which we assume is blood. He did successfully get out of the storage unit he was stuck in, but it seemed to transport him to either a different dimension, different building, different place, different floor, because all the numbers are different now in the storage units on wherever he ended up. A few videos later, he goes back to one of the slightly open units and he opens the door. This time on the wall, there's a note. The note says, "Do not touch the box." But in the unit, there is no box to be found. The caption says delivery. Then in his next video, the caption is beast, and he says that he got grabbed by something during his last live stream. Unfortunately, I didn't catch this live stream, so I didn't see that particular part, but I assume that part is true. He wakes up in a locked unit and he can see the shadow of feet or something outside of it, and he feels like somebody is watching him from the outside. He then follows an exit sign where he does finally find a door, and outside of that door is a staircase. But when he looks down through the hole in the giant staircase, he sees a shadow of something seemingly running up the stairs. So of course he runs right back inside and closes the door. This is reminiscent of the account Where Is the Sky? And we'll see that there is a lot of accounts that seem to be connected in this world. He does eventually manage to get down some of the stairs, and on one of the other doors to a different level, he finds another note that says, "If the box is empty, run." He goes through that door and there's just more storage units. The caption on that one says run. The next video, the caption is so close, and this is probably the creepiest video in this entire ARG. He goes for this open door and he's actually gonna make a run for it, and it seems like he's gonna try to escape, but some sort of creature stops him. Take a look at the video yourself. So this creature that stops him is, as you can tell, extremely hard to catch because it's just a split second. And after a lot of screenshots, I finally was able to catch it. So here's a picture of this monster that's coming after him. The next video is, the caption is called The Box. He wakes up outside of the unit 2254, so we can assume that monster caught him and knocked him unconscious or did something to him. But this unit is open and he goes inside and there is the box. He opens the box and the box is empty. If you recall, the notes told him A, don't touch the box if you find one, and B, if you do and it's empty, run. And he follows neither of these recommendations. But it seems like he got transported to somewhere completely different. So he ends up in this other dimension or this other place, and door 392 suddenly makes a noise. So he turns the camera on that door and we see these long, black, creepy fingers wrap around it. So he's clearly not alone, and I assume that this was the reason he wasn't supposed to touch the box or look in the box, because it transported him to wherever this scary creature is. He gets lured out from his hiding place with a thing of almond milk, which I assume is alluring since he's probably been trapped for a while and is getting hungry / thirsty. But it seems to be a trap because we suddenly hear this growl. The growl is really scary, and it also sounds very similar to the growls from the ARG Where's the Sky, which again, we'll talk about it later, but maybe there's some connections there. Later, he finds a trail of his own Christmas ornaments leading him somewhere. These were assumably the ornaments that he was looking for in the first place. The caption reads, "It's here." And then he finds his own Christmas tree all lit up and decorated, and the caption on that video is "Not alone." A couple videos later, he finds that the lights are starting to go out and they're starting to flicker, and we kind of get a jump scare in this video where this hand comes out of nowhere again. The caption for that one is "Caught." And then the next one is "Fresh air," and all we see is this pitch black video. But then he does make it outside and the caption reads "Rebirth." So he kind of thinks maybe he escaped where he was, but the outside doesn't seem quite right. It seems like he did end up in some alternate dimension or somewhere, and so even though he finally made it outside, he's still not back in his dimension in the real world. We then soon find out that whatever creature was in the building is following him, and it ran out from wherever they were, where the storage units were, and he seems to be trying to run away from it, and the creature is following him. He does find a good place to hide, but then all of a sudden he hears sirens, and we also hear more growling. He posts a few more videos of him hearing this weird whispering and then also just running away and trying to find a safe place to hide. The second to last video in this story, the caption says SOS, and the video is of this gate, and if you look really carefully, you'll see the hand again creeping from around the corner. He actually tags the account Where Is the Sky in this particular video and says, "I think I need your help." But Where Is the Sky responds and of course says, "I'm sorry," because that's Where Is the Sky says to every comment he ever replies to. The very last video, the caption reads "The End?" ? And it's basically the same video as the first video. He ends up back in the storage unit, and he said that he got there a few hours ago looking for his Christmas decorations, but obviously he went back to the beginning. So he seems to be stuck in this endless loop. The caption also says, "I'm not sure what happened to, wait, what's going on?" And it says, "Oh no," in the video at the very end, as well as the fact that it says "The End?" We can conclude that our protagonist here is aware of the fact that he's stuck in a loop and that he cannot escape this dimension he entered. A few things to analyze this ARG. First of all, there is a lot of accounts on TikTok right now with very similar names. Like we talked about, Where Is the Sky? The exits are missing, but then there's also The Sky is Gone. And then there's this handful of other accounts that seem to every now and then tag each other or do TikTok duets with each other and kind of interact. I don't believe they're the same person. I believe on a live stream of The Exits Are Missing that I did catch, the creator said that he is not the person that created The Sky is Gone. So I'm pretty sure they're not the same person. If anybody has proof to contradict that though, feel free to let me know in the comments. But basically what I think this means is that they're all stuck in this particular world or this different dimension, and they can't seem to get back to our world. They might also be in the future. That's a whole other video, but in Where's the Sky, it kind of seems that he seems to be a year ahead of us and living in the apocalypse a year ahead of us. So they might be there or just in some other dimension that they can't get out of, and all of these accounts are interacting with each other because they're alone in separate areas, but they can find each other and know that they're all in the same dimension or apocalyptic world. The second thing that we think about this particular ARG is that he is probably in the back rooms, as he hashtags a lot of his videos back rooms. If you don't know what the back rooms are, it's basically a giant labyrinth of rooms that you can't get out of. It really started as an urban legend, and it's kind of this game that if you enter the back rooms, you get stuck in this giant maze that you will never escape. And that is kind of the story of the back rooms, is that nobody ever escapes. So it would make sense for the ending of this particular story because he ends up back in a loop at the beginning, and so he cannot escape and he's in the back rooms. The other thing about the back rooms is that they do say that there are creatures and monsters in the back rooms that might catch up with you, which is also an alignment with this story because he obviously has some sort of creature or monster that is stalking him. According to the Backrooms wiki, no one has ever made it out and no one knows if it ends. I also want to talk about ARGs in general. I really enjoyed this story. I thought it was really well done. And once it was over, the creator went on to just post other videos on that particular TikTok account of other horror shorts that he made. He's a very creative individual. I don't blame him for that at all, considering the following he already built. Of course, he wants a larger audience to see his work. So it's not particularly about him. It's more, he does tag ARG in a lot of his videos, and I've noticed that a lot of other creators are starting to do this, especially ARGs on TikTok, and I'm just pretty bummed out about that. I mean, the whole point of an ARG is that we don't know if it's real or not, even though we all know that it's not. But the whole point is that you never say that it's an ARG, and that the creators and the actors in the ARGs never admit that it's an ARG or, you know, break that illusion with the audience. And that makes ARGs way more immersive. That is what makes them so fun, is that the audience gets to interact and really be a little bit more scared without shattering the illusion that it's not real. So it is, I do definitely appreciate it when creators don't mention that it's an ARG. And I was really disappointed with this one that he not only went on to make other videos with him and interviews on lives about how he did this ARG and stuff like that, and then saying from the beginning, because to me that just kind of ruined some of the fun. No hate to the creator who did that whatsoever. Of course, he's very talented and I think he did a really great job. I also understand not wanting to get in trouble or not wanting to scare teenagers or kids that might be watching and be seriously worried, or worried that somebody might call the police on you or something like that. I totally get that, but it just makes me sad because a lot of ARGs, most ARGs that are way more scary and violent even than this one, never say that it's an ARG, and they totally are fine to this day. For example, I know I've talked about Ash Vlogs before, but even when they interviewed the actress that played the main character in Ash Vlogs, she still stayed in character and she still wouldn't say much and was really elusive. And I thought that was really cool. Even though we found out she was okay, she still didn't break the illusion and we were able to stay immersed in the game. So I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments down below, either about the ARG or about my opinions about it. I had a lot of fun going through the TikToks for this particular one. It was a really fun story. So that's gonna be it for today. If you guys liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it to the end, and I'll see y'all in the next one.